Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
We have some major news here that former President Trump improperly took 15 boxes from the White House to his home at Mar-a-Lago, Florida. And these boxes and documents were supposed to be turned over to the National Archives, and instead he took them to his home in Florida. Yeah, you can see here this is being reported here, and these have now been returned, but there's some reports that some of these documents have been shredded, or there's also some new information coming out about, you can see here, Trump White House staffers frequently put important documents into, quote, burn bags and sent them to the Pentagon for incineration, citing that documents were basically burned in the past and were not properly record kept. So there's a lot of information coming out here that documents were improperly taken. You can see here, I got a lot of details here of 15 boxes of records were recovered at his home in Florida, and they were improperly taken. And then also we have a lot of information here about these burn bags that White House staffers are now coming out here and also talking about, saying that documents were burned and disposed of for incineration as well. So we have a lot of new information coming out here, and some of this pertains to the January 6th incidences and insurrection as well. So a lot of information coming out here just recently about this. I'll keep you up to date here as more information comes back. And if anything comes about this here, let me know your thoughts here down below in the comments. Okay, next up, the U.S. House of Representatives passed two bills last night here. Number one, you can see here that the House of Representatives passed a government funding bill, also known as a stopgap bill, to prevent a government shutdown. Now, this will have to go to the Senate yet, so this is kind of one half of it. So the Senate still needs to pass it, but the House has passed this bill here. Here are the details. The House on Tuesday passed a stopgap bill measure to extend the federal government funding until March 11th to prevent a government shutdown next week while negotiations over a long-term package remain ongoing. Remember, they still have to pass this in the Senate. The chamber voted 272 to 162 to pass the short-term funding bill on Tuesday evening. A total of 51 House Republicans joined all but one Democrat, Republican Josh Gottheimer, in support of the measure. The Senate is expected to act swiftly on the legislation. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Tuesday that he intends for the upper chamber to take it up quickly and in time before current government funding expires on February 18th. The legislation buys congressional negotiators on both sides of the aisle time to strike a larger spending deal known as the Omnibus to fund the government operations for the rest of the fiscal year, which is only until September. If passed by the House and Senate, the continuing resolution will mark the third time Congress has kicked the can down the road to prevent a government shutdown for the current fiscal year that began in October 1st. Now, they will need 10 Republican votes in the Senate to do this. We'll have to see if that happens. It does look likely that they will get this. Remember, this is just a very short term funding until March 11th, on which time they'll have to pass another bill to do this yet again to prevent another government shutdown. I'll keep you up to date if that passes, and then we have to do this all again to prevent another government shutdown. I know, you can't make this stuff up, right? Meanwhile, the House also passed a bill to reform the Postal Service operations. Check this out. The House last night also passed bipartisan legislation that would make long-sought financial and operational reforms to the U.S. Postal Service, which has struggled with pandemic-induced mail delivery delays. Lawmakers passed the bill 342 to 92, with 120 Republicans joining all Democrats in support. The bipartisan agreement to overhaul the Postal Service has long eluded lawmakers until last year, when House Oversight and Reform Committee Chairwoman Carolyn Maloney, a Democrat from New York, and the panel's top Republican representative James Comer from Kentucky unveiled the proposal and passed on the House last night. Today's historic bipartisan vote brings us one step closer to finally putting the Postal Service on a sound financial footing. Remember, the Postal Service has been losing hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars for a long time, so it can continue serving Americans for years to come. They actually mentioned here the Postal Service has been operating on a net annual loss for more than a decade and is currently projected to run out of funds for its operations by 2024. It's only in 2 years. Its increasingly worsened financial viability was largely due to declining mail volume. People are sending emails now. The cost of employee compensation, and unfunded liabilities and debt. The legislation would help the Postal Service save money by eliminating the existing requirement to pre-fund retiree health benefits, which is projected to save around $27 billion over a decade, and require future Postal Service retirees to enroll in Medicare, which could save about $23 billion. Interesting. President Biden has signaled he will sign the bill into law, and the Biden administration said that it supports efforts to strengthen the U.S. Postal Service, including by providing postal employees with the dignity, fair pay, and employer-provided benefits that they have earned. Postmaster General DeJoy also supports the bill. He called it, quote, long overdue during a Postal Service Board of Governors meeting on Tuesday. And DeJoy has actually clashed with the Democrats, a GOP megadonor who assumed his role underneath former President Donald Trump. So it must be a decent bill. Next up here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
We're also working to advance our Jobs and Competition Bill, which is now called Make It in America. The U word is abolished because no one knew what it meant. So we can't even say the U word. But the Make It in America bill that will help relieve two of the things the public most cares about. One, increased costs. And you've seen the increased costs for cars, appliances, tech stuff, because of the shortage of semiconductor chips. It also creates many more good-paying manufacturing and other jobs here in America. We do want to make it in America, and that's another thing the public cares a lot about. And Senator Kelly has spent a lot of time focused on this, cares deeply about it. The U.S. economy has experienced an economic recovery in the first year under President Biden and our Senate Democratic majority. Passing this important legislation will build on the success while lowering costs for American families. The Make It in America bill will make the investments we need so that we're never in the position of relying on foreign-made chips for everything from cars to home appliances. Now, there's a lot of work to do to move this bill to the president's desk. Obviously, we intend to go to a conference, an official formal conference, which takes a number of different steps, but we're working on getting those done. Now, one area that maybe doesn't get enough attention here in Congress but has an impact on the everyday lives of Americans is cybersecurity. We've seen a number of high-profile cyber attacks against the U.S. government, U.S. businesses, critical infrastructure, delays, headaches, increased costs to companies, from annoying phishing texts and emails trying to steal our identities to a ransomware attack like on the Colonial Pipeline that caused gas shortages and price spikes. Cybercrime is a real and growing threat. The bottom line is that, and it affects lots of people. I've had lots of school districts in my state subject to ransom, and they've had to pay a lot of money or sacrifice to the privacy of the kids' records. So this is very important to do. And one of the main provisions is it requires private entities to let the federal authorities know when they've been attacked. We have good cyber offense in America, but that cyber offense can't be used unless you know not only where the attack, who was attacked, but the details of the attack. And the Peters bill, which is co-sponsored by Senator Portman, does just that. So I've asked Chairman Peters and others, I asked them to conduct a government-wide review of these attacks to determine what legislation may be needed. They've come up, Peters and Portman have come up with bipartisan legislation that he's going to speak on, and it's another area I hope Democrats and Republicans can continue working on as we pass meaningful legislation to keep America secure.
Yeah, and now Congress, once they have the government shutdown finished, they will be able to concentrate on the Build Back Better package, which they are now rewriting and concentrating on, as well as this $800 billion in stimulus money as well. If you didn't see, I just sent out this tweet that says there is $800 billion of stimulus money already approved that is just sitting there. This is money that's already been approved by Congress. This is from Stimulus Package 1, Stimulus Package 2 underneath former President Donald Trump, and Stimulus Package 3 underneath Biden. All three of them combined, a lot of bit of money left over from all three of them combined. There's a recent report that says there's $800 billion of stimulus money left over from the three stimulus packages combined. You can easily use half of the money to send a fourth stimulus check out to the people in need now. This won't add debt or inflation because it's already been appropriated. And they can use this money to send out a fourth stimulus check now to the people in need because this money is just sitting there and available for Congress or the president to send out through either executive order or however they want to send this out. And I sent this out here yesterday via Twitter, and I tagged the President of the United States, the Vice President, Bernie Sanders, AOC, and a whole bunch of other senators here that recently supported a fourth stimulus check. There is over 80 different lawmakers that are in support of a fourth stimulus check. Now we have $800 billion of money available. So we just need to get enough support from the lawmakers to actually say, hey, we need to use this money for the people that most need it, which is, low and low income people. And this is exactly what stimulus checks do. They help people in need and they stimulate the economy. So what else are they going to do with this $800 billion? It's stimulus money. It's for stimulus. So this is exactly what they need to do. Remember that a recent report came out that 63% of Americans have been living paycheck to paycheck since the pandemic. 63% of Americans. And the majority of Americans can't, if there was a $500 emergency, if something went out on their car, if their air conditioner went on their house, or if their heater went, now that it's wintertime, if their heater went on their home, and, those things are thousands of dollars, right? They can't afford it. They just can't afford it. And, a lot of Americans are just literally struggling to pay food. And, the money is sitting there. The money is just sitting there, and Congress can use it to send out this money. There's $800 billion of it. They could use half of this money to send this out. So I'm here every single day as your voice, as your advocate here. I see your guys' comments here every day, and I'm sending these messages out to Congress on your behalf. So we got to get enough support here to do this. We got to put the word out here. I'm here every single day speaking on YouTube to literally tens and hundreds of thousands. We've had millions of people watch our channel here on YouTube. Over 150 million views on YouTube we've had. And sending these messages directly to the people in Congress, to the president, to the vice president. I'm just here as a voice for you guys. So What are they going to do with this money? This is exactly what they can do. So let's put this idea in their head. Let's get the ball moving on this, and let's get this going out as a forced stimulus check. Let's get more programs, more money to the people that need it, which is, people that are struggling right now.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.